are from group
Creative Mind Society.
and this is our
Video documentary of rock climbing.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Farhan Giri Merajali. Welcome to UTHM Wall.
Alright, so now I'm going to brief about the rock climbing sport itself. So, the rock climbing sport gained prominence in the late 19th and early 20th as the mountaineers started to focus technical aspect of the climbing. Early climbers used rudimentary equipment. However, as the technique and gear improved, the focus shifted to the difficulty and aesthetic of individual climbs.
Okay, today rock climbing attract a diverse community from casual climbers to the elite athlete climbers. They want to challenge their physical and mental for this sport. With its unique blend of physical strength and problem solving skill and mental resilience, rock climbers continue to captivate individuals seeking adventure and connection to the vertical of world like this vertical.
Before we start with climbing, I would like to introduce you with the equipment that you needed for climb, especially for your safety. For all climbers, beginners or intermediate or pro level, first equipment that you needed is shoes. There are different types of shoes. For example, we have 3 types of shoes: normal flat shoes and angle shoes. The angle shoes will be a little bit harder for them to wear it. The flat shoes is more comfortable shoes to climb. The difference between street shoes and climbing shoes, mainly the shoes are being made by a rubber that makes the climber more easier to put their feet on the rock. For your second equipment for climbing is harness. Harness is very important. This is your first safety, or I would call it as a main safety that will make you safe when you climb for top rope and also lead. This harness will be placed at your waist and your thigh. So and these sections is for the rope sections. So you'll be tie your rope in this area. For the third equipment, for beginner equipment, is ATC and also a carabiner. Carabiner is being used for attached to ATC, so the belayer can put the carabiner inside the harness, the second equipment, the second harness, and then they will belay the rope using ATC. There are many types of device them being used. This one we call ATC, and we also have gree and also figure of 8. This carabiner being used many times. They also a type for carabiner. There are 2 types. One is pear. You can see the shape is like a pear, and there will be a carabiner D shape. This is a D shape. There will be a little bit sharp here and here, so we'll make a D shape. Okay, let's we go to elite climber, or we can call it intermediate to pro climber. The equipment that you need for pro intermediate climber is a rope. Rope being used, for example, if you go to indoor gym or any climbing sector, there will be a top rope and lead. So if you play just for top rope, they already equip you with a rope. So if you like to go for lead or outdoor climbing, you need to buy a rope. This is a rope. There are many type of rope. Mainly I suggested for climbing there are only two, dynamic and semi-dynamic. They also static rope, but it will not be safe for climbers if they drop, because static rope will not stretch when the climbers drop from high. So this rope is static. This rope is dynamic, more safer than static rope. Second equipment for intermediate and pro climbers is helmet. Usually helmet being used only for outdoor climbing, because indoor climbing did not require for helmet, but only for indoor being required to wear your helmet. Okay, the last equipment for the climbing for pro and intermediate climbing is quick draw. Quick draw, we have two sides. One side will be the bolt side, and the other side will be the rope side. So the quick draw will be used every wall. You can see every wall have their bolt. Bolt is for the quick draw being hang inside the bolt. So there will be bolt hang inside the bolt, and the climbers will put their rope inside the rope carabiner section. The difference between this section and this section, the carabiner for this section have different angle at this section, the open section. So why does it make for this shape? Because it might more easier for the climber to put the rope inside it.
Okay.
Just we know that every human being doesn't start with zero. So what makes climbing as your hobby, or maybe why you can transition from hobby to career?
Okay, for me, I think I've been in love with outdoor. I think it's maybe in my life. So sort of say even budak kampung. In other words, so I've been like going camping since primary school, and then when it was abandoned to go camp out, your parents won't allow you to camp out, and I was started to climb. There's even no tent, and then if you want to know that we only use sugar gunny sack to become our pie sheet, everything. So from that onwards, I think, and then in some time when you go to the mountain, and then you come across magazines that shows climbing. It's not in Malaysia yet. So of course, as an outdoor person, you climb a mountain, you take a look at it. It's been an awesome experience to be there. Then happens to be, I got the chance to climb in Kuala Lumpur with a French guy. Actually, he works in a company outdoor, and a few friends started to learn to climb the rocks, everything. But Malaysian haven't started to climb yet. Then from then onwards, actually the passion of outdoor, the challenge that goes on, and then you never know. It takes you everywhere. It takes me to travel everywhere. Then it becomes a national sport. They sent me to France on 98.
And then I came back, I still compete, I still represent Malaysia. And then I go for the next challenge, I want to climb higher walls. That's why we climb big walls, everything. It's just, it's a journey. To me, it's a journey of rediscovering myself. It's a passion. You see a lot of place. More not about money. Money is there, but I think what you gain from the outdoor is much more than money. You cannot get from money. And then from then onwards, of course, in the early stage, you cannot be a professional climber. You need to make a living. So that's why I started a small company, Petit Outdoor. We started to clean buildings using the ropes. So it started to, it becomes an evolution from a hobby. It becomes a sport. I represent the country, and it becomes a sport. And then I go for expedition, and then it becomes industries, work for income. And at the end of the day, you never know. Now I also become an industrial teacher, teaching for working at height. So more on the passion, I think. But you have to love your job. Passion is number one. Because it's not easy. Because in the early state, nobody actually know about climbing.
By this section, I would like to teach you what is important to tie your rope. So in climbing, we have 3 types of rope. To tie the rope, 3 types of rope. First is figure of 8 follow through. So usually figure of 8, you see there are 8 shapes here. So usually figure of 8 being used for the climbers. So figure of 8 will be used, go through the harness section, and then why we call it as a big follow through, because the 8 being followed through by the rope, by the climber rope. So by the climbers need to make sure the rope need to have more than one of your arm. More secure, you have 2 arms. Have this left. Okay, the second type is a fisherman hook. And then you turn the rope and then insert the first rope. So for the last rope type that you need is end knot, or we call it as a barrel knot, because sometimes when you type your figure of 8, there are many of rope left, extra rope excess. So we need to use end knot or barrel knot. End knot is just like loop it and one loop. This is end knot, and for barrel knot is one loop, second loop, and then you go inside. This we call it as a barrel knot. So today I would like to show you how to belay. This we call it as 5-step belay. This how you hold the belay, how you hold the climbers. So if you tuck the rope under, so the rope will be locked. So the climbers will not fall.
Thank you. And move on to the next question. Have you ever watched a rock climbing competition or event?
No, because this sport is not well exposed.
Do you think rock climbing is more of a physical or mental challenge?
I think both, because for physical we need strength to climb up the wall. Then for mentally we need to plan the strategies to climb up the wall wisely.
Okay. Last question. Is rock climbing a sport that everyone can enjoy, or is it more for a specific group of people?
I think it's more to specific group because for this sport we need enough strength to climb up the wall. So I think it's suitable for young people to enjoy this sport.
Okay, my first question is, have you ever tried rock climbing? And if so, what was your experience like?
I never tried rock climbing before, but if the chance is being given to me, I will try.
My fifth question, have you ever watched a rock climbing competition or event?
I think so, yeah. Before this, at the television, when the Summer Olympic 2020 at Tokyo.
Oh, okay. Would you be interested in trying rock climbing as a fun activity?
I think it's a fun activity.
As we know that there are many new climbers,
Yeah.
because Malaysia is a developed country for a climber.
Yeah.
So what is your advice as intermediate or beginner climber? You can give to them what they can learn to improve their climbing skills, method, or maybe become a pro climber in the future.
For me, I think for beginners, for starters, I think must be fun. If it's not fun, I think I myself stopped climbing a long time ago. It's still fun for me. The next thing for intermediate, if I feel if they want to go further, they have to travel and climb more other places. They cannot stick to their place, because different places have this different rock, different style of climb. They have to go and travel and climb. And then for competitive climber, they need to compete more, because even though you're strong in competition, there's different pressure. If you're used to in a competition, you will tend to not have the pressure anymore. Then for competitive, you still need to go a lot of competition. For intermediate, like I told you, you need to climb a lot and then mix a lot. And then in climbing, in order for you to go for the next level, it's like a sport graph. It's the same, I think, in every sport. You excel and you have to drop down a bit. When it plateau, you must drop down a bit, then you push. If you understand what I mean. It's like that. If you excel in climbing, you will plateau. In order you go for the next level, you drop a bit. Because why? Sometimes you drop a bit because you must forget what is usual in order to try something new. I understand. Let's say you're always doing the same move. It becomes your habit. You're not learning something new. That's why you have to maybe forget. Then you only get the new knowledge. to get away of the old habit. Always keep learning. Falling is you're gonna fall every time. Part of the process. No problem. Climb for yourself. More relaxed. Have fun. Don't forget to have fun.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, for the conclusion,
In general, rock climbing is not just a sport but an experience that develops your physical and mental stamina to complete the task at the hand. It can nurture the spirit in solving challenges and arouse the mind to make sure every step taken is for rock climbing. Also, rock climbing is on advantage. This documentary aims to inspire a new generation of climbers by exploring the history, technique and culture of rock climbing. Those who love outdoor activity can try this because you can get a new experience. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching.